What is up, wrestling fans? Welcome to a special episode of Smack Talk presented by SmarkOutMoment.com. We're coming to you live from Mega Powers Radio on Mixlr Radio. It's the 2016 Royal Rumble post-show recap and review. I am your host of the panel, Tony Mango, and joining me on the mic for this episode is Drew White.
Actually, Tony, I'm a part of the Tony panel, so you need to get that right.
Very much so. Kalen Ferris is on the line as well.
Hello, everybody.
We got Stephen Wago.
So many conflicted feelings.
And we've got Mike Payton on the soundboard. And we've got Yoda. Is he a ghost or is he real? You don't have a second? I was just going to say you need to have a second one here. But not only are we having the panel that we have just explained, we also have you guys hanging out in the live chat right now, throwing out some names that we got. We got Angie Pie 4, good old Angie Williams. We got Miguel. Miguel's on the line. What's up, man? We got Brian the Brain. We've got Kenneth Key. We got Declan Mackery. We've got Ben Guest. We got Guest 5. And we have 5 people listening elsewhere. I think that you guys are all on megapowersradio.com. Hop on over to mixler.com/megapowersradio and you'll be able to chat with everybody that's going on there. I'm going to try to read out some things throughout the night, and I'm going to try to get some of the other people on the line here if they see anything that's interesting to throw out some stuff from the chat as well. Because I got to look up stats in the middle of this and stuff to figure out what's going on with the Royal Rumble predictions contest. But that's going to come later on in the night. We need to break this down one by one, go through the card and talk about what happened, starting off with overall impressions. Now, I just want to get very, very general. Did you guys enjoy the Royal Rumble event in its full, or did you feel a little disappointed with it? Kalen?
There were a few parts that I wasn't so hot on, but overall, it was much better than I anticipated, so I was happy tonight.
Wago, what do you think?
I can't give you a simple yes or no answer. I just feel very conflicted about this pay-per-view as a whole. It definitely kept my attention. I definitely was overall entertained, happy with it. I think it's going to be one of those things where I'll look from a week now and see what they do before I really can make my mind up about it.
Got to roost a little bit?
Yeah, just a tad.
Drew?
I enjoyed the whole show. I think it was definitely a good start for the year, and I've enjoyed every match on here, so it's big thumbs up in my book.
Peyton, you leaning one way or another?
Nah, man, for me, the roost has already come home to be cooked in a slow cooker pot. This was a great show. I had a lot of fun watching this from the very first match all the way to... People will say it's predictable because everyone's got to be so much fucking smarter than what they're putting on the show. But I don't think anybody predicted a lot of the things that did happen. So, overall, I love this show.
Yeah, I gotta agree with that. I think that this was actually a really fun event. There were some ups and downs, of course. A lot of people in the chat kind of saying the same thing, that not everything was great, not everything was perfect, but it doesn't have to be for me to be overall impressed with a lot of the things we had tonight. And I'm going to start off with, obviously, the kickoff, pre-show of the night, the match that was a little confusing at first, but it was a fatal 4-way tag team match where the two winners, the team that ended up, winning the match, they were able to qualify for the Royal Rumble. All the other people, not in the match. So that was a little surprising to me that we would have already written off 6 different people that could have potentially been in there. But when you look at the people involved, it kind of seemed like we were all going Mark Henry and Jack Swagger when it came down to our predictions the other day. Some of us were leaning a little bit more towards the Dudley boys. None of us were really thinking the Ascension had a shot. And the weird tag team that we had of Damien, Sandow, and Darren Young, that's where I want to go first with this. What did you guys think of this? Because Sandow came out with his old gimmick, which may or may not be a mistake. I think that that's something that we'll have to see where they go in the future. And how awkward was it when Darren Young came out and tried to do the Primetime Players thing with him? I thought that was fantastic, though. I thought it was funny.
I loved it. That was a lot of fun, especially seeing Damien Sandow in the robe and everything. When he tried to do the millions of dollars with him, he wasn't going for it at all. That was great. Man, the crowd was so over with Damien Sandow was so over with the crowd, rather. It was great to hear him getting such huge pops. Just the crowd was so behind him. I loved it.
Anybody have like a disappointed kind of reaction to this? Like you were expecting Sandow to do something different maybe, or you just didn't want him to go back to what he did before? Maybe he does like the Macho Man Dow thing again, or Ms. Dow, or...
When it comes to Sandow, I've always loved the intellectual savior of the masses, and we kind of got that tonight. He was wearing the same bright neon pink like trunks he used to wear, so that's a step in the right direction. And he used the elbow drop thing. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but
that
I mean, the fans, at least the people there, got really behind Sandow. So it's not like people forgot him while he was gone. So hopefully they utilize him going forward because he's one of the best talents they have.
I don't see how it can be a mistake to switch to this gimmick because let's face it, it's the only gimmick he's done that's actually been successful. I was happy to see the robe. I was happy to see him hit the Enzo Amore elbow drop. And overall, was pretty pleased with Damien Sandow. I hope they give him more TV time and less to Darren Young.
Yes.
As far as the match result goes, it didn't really matter. Whoever was in there were just throwaway guys. They were just fodder for somebody to destroy. So it was fine for an opening match.
Oh, we had Mark Henry and Jack Swagger. They ended up winning this, and I think that they were the rightful team. Does anybody have an issue with that? They were really hoping that Dudley Boyz could win.
I expected the result. If for no other reason but just to put Mark Henry in the Rumble. Because he should have been there in the first place.
Right. And you can make an argument that Jack Swagger should have been there in the first place.
They're both former champions. No, they're both former world champions. They should have been in there.
Yeah, there's kind of no... I mean, he hasn't been the same quality as he was before, but, like, when you're a former world champion, that gives you a lot of leeway. That should be the situation that, like, you're almost guaranteed. Now, he, didn't really do that great in the match, but we'll get to that a little bit later on, but I think that this was a good match that kind of took advantage of the pre-show, where they did something that, in the grand scheme of things, it didn't make all that much of a difference, but it also took a normal kind of match that we could have had, and it gave stakes to it. And that's what's important. Too many pre-show matches are just garbage. Steaks are pretty good. As long as they're cooked like medium well. I like that best. But pre-show matches, I think, have a tendency of either being completely pointless or actually worth setting your clock and, making sure that you can get there in time to watch the pre-show. This was one of those latter cases. The qualifying thing for the Royal Rumble, cool. We used to have the free-for-all to determine who was like number 1, number 30, or some kind of a qualifying match on the weeks leading up to it. We didn't really have that this time around. So this took its place, and I think that was a nice use of that. And it got a lot of people on the card that weren't wrestling for it. Now, there were some other people that didn't wrestle, but they still showed up in some capacity. I mean, we didn't see the other 3 members of the Social Outcasts, but they had a backstage promo. And we didn't see King Barrett wrestle, but he had a backstage promo. And they did a lot to get a lot of people on the card tonight. I think that pre-show did a real good job of kind of taking that and doing it the right way.
You know what it really did?
What's that?
Answered the age-old question that we've all been wondering.
Is Damien Sandow dead?
For eons, people have pondered this question. Any other thoughts that you guys had on this pre-show match? Leaning one way or another?
I really think they should try to put a second pre-show match in. They have a lot of dead time where the crowd actually seemed like they were getting restless at one point when the panel was there talking. I was actually kind of worried they would start throwing garbage at them.
You mean you didn't want to sit for any more of Jerry's fucking cheesy one-liners?
Oh, what was that thing he said there in the pre-show? That he messed something up, and I laughed because he immediately knew he messed it up. He was like, the winner is going to mainline WrestleMania, main event, headline WrestleMania.
He looked like Grumpy Cat the whole time he was sitting there.
Yeah,
He just had this sourpuss on him the whole time.
probably because he was shitty that he wasn't actually doing commentary tonight.
Well, he's meant to be like adopting this more heel persona, so I think it's more of that we saw.
Well, you know who was really shitty? Freaking Corey Graves, if you ask Booker T.
Oh, man, he did not like him tonight.
I don't know what happened, but they were asking who they thought was going to win the Royal Rumble, and Corey Graves just like, Brock Lesnar. That's all I need to say. And all of a sudden, Booker T just like starts laying into him, like, yeah, well, you got no opinions of your own. You a copycat.
Yeah, and it was so quick, too. Like, they had 10 seconds, for those who didn't see the pre-show, they had 10 seconds to say who they thought was going to win and why. And Booker T takes like 15 seconds, and I don't even remember who he said. He rambled. Jerry Lawler was kind of doing the standard, like, well, a lot of people could win. It could be this guy, that guy. Corey Graves just goes, Brock Lesnar, you can take the other 9 seconds. And Booker T essentially jumps on him as like, yeah, we are fucking jerks. It's like, whoa, dude, did he like piss in your cereal this morning or something?
I haven't seen him go from calm to hood that quickly since someone took his wallet.
That was a huge surprise. And Booker was, Booker tonight. He was all over the place and just retarded. So that was fun. But I liked it, but I do agree with you. I think that they need to start working more pre-show stuff, like with matches. You don't need to have all the same. We're going to show you a 5-6 minute thing about the Divas Championship match that you're going to see again before we do the match later on and all that. We've said it time and time again. It's the same old argument. But at least this match went on long enough that I think it justified its spot, and overall, thumbs up for me. But our first match of the night officially on the card was our last man standing match. The Intercontinental title was on the line. Kevin Owens against Dean Ambrose. Dean Ambrose gets the win, and, I'm actually kind of happy about this match turning out that way, even though I was sort of rooting for Kevin Owens, because it was a little bit of a shock to me. I got to a point where I convinced myself that Kevin Owens was going to win, and when he didn't, I was just like, oh, that's the end of the match. Oh, that's kind of cool. I like the end of the match, too, itself. What do you guys think about this?
I was definitely happy with this. I was also rooting for Kevin Owens, and even more so that I wish he'd won the IC title, given what happened in the Rumble with Sami Zayn. So, overall, there's nothing really bad you can say about this match. It was just a fun-ass, kind of hardcore match, and these guys do what they always do. Put on a show.
Fun-ass matches.
I know you wasn't looking forward to this match. You was worried that it was going to be a flop, but I had no worries going into this, and I was more than happy. The ending spot where Owens took that spill off the top rope for the table was fucking sweet.
Tables.
Yeah, to him. Which I want to point out something that I thought was great during this match. There was There was a guy in the crowd, sort of around that angle with the tables, that the cameras kept picking up his voice.
Oh, he was berating Owens, and it was bad.
I thought it was hilarious.
He's like,
What
you're
did he say?
wasting your time,
Yeah, I feel like you're wasting your time right now setting up the tables. And he at one point he goes, I like your tattoo. Looks like the Rock's.
Yeah, that's the one I caught. It just made me fucking cackle.
And I think that's the same dude that was saying Happy Thanksgiving. And he's like, Thanksgiving's in November. Oh, Canada.
Yeah, that was great.
Oh, man, I laughed so hard at that. And there was another part in this that I laughed even more at. And that was Kevin Owens gets thrown over the commentary table. And for some reason, he just makes it a point of like, I keep falling on Michael Cole. He's like trying to grab Michael Cole to get up. Ends up breaking Michael Cole's glasses.
And I like how Michael Cole was just silent for like a good 2 minutes after that, too.
I know, it was his best commentary all night.
He was probably so pissed.
I bet Vince was pissed in the back. It's like, just go out and say something.
Well, I just thought it was great that it's like, he's silent and stuff, and JBL says something like, oh man, did you see that? And Cole's like, no, I can't. My glasses are broken. All like mad about this. Kevin Owens has been doing something with Michael Cole, and I don't know what that story is, but there's something there that's just fantastic. And he had to have just been like, oh man, it sucks that you threw me on Cole. Cole. That struck me funny as hell. What did you guys think about the violence in this match? Was it good enough to justify what these two could have done? Because I will admit, I went into this thinking that they were going to be a little bit tame, and I think that they were, to an extent. I think they weren't as crazy as they could have been, but I did like it, so...
Those are some of the most dangerous table bumps I've seen them do in a long time.
Well, that was great, yeah.
Also, that... my bad. The one time that... what's his face? Kevin Owens had like the chair wrapped around his like face. I was worried I thought they would just go with the automatic chop shots to the chest, but no, he was kind of doing headshots with that chair wrapped around
that's
his
what
head.
I thought. Yeah, Ambrose took the steel chair right to Owens' face. Usually
So
don't see face shots with a chair
He
anymore.
gave him a headshot when he threw it at him, like old Rob Van Dam style, throwing the chair at their face.
Yep.
Yeah, and everybody that I was watching it with, I'm there with Dace and with Urban and whatnot, and we're all just kind of like, wait, chair shot to the head? What? Like, we got a chair shot to the head.
It was.
So how could you say this match wasn't violent?
I'm saying this match could have been more violent. And I can understand why people
We
would
didn't
be.
need a barbed wire bat.
Well, I could understand if people were disappointed and they were underwhelmed, but at the same time, I thought that it was good enough. That's all
Tony
I'm
was
saying.
Tony was still waiting for that table to get set on fire from the other pay-per-view.
No, it was still a damn good match regardless. The only issue the worry I was having towards the beginning was like the first weapon that they could have pulled out was a fucking kendo stick. And at that moment, I was like, fuck, don't tell me it's going to be one of those kind of matches. But they turned it around. They did some incredible table bumps. The only table bump I'm disappointed with is they didn't do the superplex onto the 2 tables stacked, and they just did the push off, which I liked, but I would have liked that superplex a lot more.
You wanted somebody to die. Okay, I get it.
Okay.
See, Tony, you said you would understand if people were underwhelmed or disappointed. I wouldn't understand that. I mean, this match had some really great spots. If somebody didn't like this match, if they thought this was disappointing, what more could you want? I mean, sure, it wasn't
the
perfect.
opener.
Yeah, it wasn't perfect, but it was fantastic. And to open the show, I mean, they set the bar really high. Like before, when we were talking about the predictions, I thought that this could be match of the night, and in my opinion, I think it definitely was. I enjoyed this even more than the Rumble itself.
Wow. I would say it's my second favorite match of the night. Royal Rumble being the first, but, again, we'll talk about that a little bit later, but high marks for that. Kenny Cade bringing up something in the chat that I forgot about, too. Owens and Ambrose both saying, I hate you, to each other.
Yeah, that's great.
Just, I hate you. I hate you. Fucker.
Yeah. All right, buddy, yeah. I hate you too.
You're not my friend, guy. Another good spot in this match I thought was fun was stacking up the chairs and doing the back body drop. That stuff looked like it hurts. So, let me clarify what I meant by the whole, I could see why people would be underwhelmed. I think if you go into this match knowing what they did in the Attitude Era and looking at the potential that a Dean Ambrose and a Kevin Owens could do if they still had those kind of, that mentality behind them, then you set yourself up, you hyped it to a level it wouldn't be. And those people would end up having the right to be like, oh, this would have been so much better back in 1997 or something like that. But it's not 1997, so you can't expect it to be like that anymore,
See, the issue I'm going to have is if I see anyone on the internet complain that this match was not good because there's no blood in it, you're a fucking idiot. And I don't know someone's going to...
I will say this. If this match had blood, it would have created a higher sense of drama.
Yeah,
I still believe in all these gimmick matches with cages and weapons. When you don't have blood, it does take an element away.
And that's true. But this match didn't suck because it didn't happen.
Right, yeah.
It was still a great match, and I enjoyed everything about it. Blood would have, it would have helped create the drama, but it did. At the same time, it didn't really need it. It was still a great match. And also, yeah, this story has been going on for a while now, but to me, when you get the blood out, that's when, the story is at its highest, It's like so much drama, but really it's just, these two just hate each other. Yeah. And there's not, an actual, really compelling story to go with it.
Mark Swaby in the chat saying, if they hate each other so much, does that mean that they're going to be a tag team soon? They do that every once in a while. I wouldn't think it's going to happen in this case, though. So let's move on to the Tag Team Championship match, The New Day against the Usos. This one, I gotta say, was a little underwhelming. And my favorite part of the whole match was the pre-match. I mean, I'm mixing up show and match this night. The pre-match little promo that we had with The New Day where they introduced Francesca 2. Francesca 1's gone. Can't stick around like that forever. Gotta move on. I thought it was kind of funny. New Day has been nowhere near as good as they've been in the past as of late, but this was back to a little bit more towards the things that I find funny, so thumbs up for me when it comes to that. But I was a little underwhelmed with the match, I gotta say. The New Day and the Usos are two teams that I like a lot, but I've seen this way too many times before. Nothing special, same old stuff we've seen over and over again. Not bad, but meh. What do you guys think?
Well, let me go ahead and say that I walked out on this match.
Took your ball, went somewhere.
Yeah, it was that good. That's how compelling the tag team division is right now.
You went CM Punk on this match. I want to go that far. I thought it was still an entertaining match. It had a few dull moments in the middle, but the ending was really, wow. So I'd still give this a thumbs up. But yeah, they need to do something with this tag team division because it's really just been the New Day, and no one else really there. So they need to mix something up, put some new teams in there or something.
Well, was anybody disappointed that the Usos didn't win the titles?
No.
Nope.
I'm not disappointed they didn't win. I did predict that the Usos would win, only because I thought the New Day gimmick had gone stale a little bit compared to what it was, let's say, a month ago. And also, I didn't expect that they would have a new trombone. I didn't expect Francesca too. So I figured that they would be so devastated over the loss of their dear Francesca that they would be too heartbroken and end up losing the match because of that. Had I known there would have been a second trombone, I definitely would have picked New Day to win.
Dude, come on. A brother has needs.
But even last time, there was like, no, I don't even want to get a new trombone, he was saying. But yes, definitely I would say that the pre-show or the pre-match promo, you got me doing it now, Tony. The pre-match promo is definitely the best part of it. As far as the match itself, it was average. I mean, we've seen this match several times. It didn't really do anything special for me. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't great.
Mm-hmm. And I really don't think there was all that much to talk about it. Does anybody have any, like, specifics that happened there that it was either really cool, really interesting, anything like that? I have literally no notes written down for it. Anybody in the chat has anything too, feel free. But I'm not seeing much, so let's move on to the U.S. title match. Alberto Del Rio loses the title to Kalisto. So we went Kalisto, then Del Rio, back to Kalisto. I thought the match was decent, and I'm surprised at the outcome, but it kind of makes me think, why didn't they just keep it on Kalisto to begin with?
I don't know.
Ratings.
Yeah,
I definitely agree with that. That's the first thing that I thought after I watched this botch-tastic match.
Exactly.
It was like the first time he won it, it was a real cool moment, and they should have rid that momentum for a while. Instead, they killed his momentum, and then when he won it the second time, I didn't care. Stop giving shit away.
Yeah, I don't get what kind of story are they trying to tell here? I mean, I understand they're comparing him to Rey Mysterio over and over and over again. Other than that, what is the story? He's the underdog. He's like Rey Mysterio. I just am not emotionally invested in the story enough.
Well, would you be more emotionally interested if he had a dead famous friend?
Any word that dead famous friends, just initials on his shoulders.
I don't know. Does that mean we can get rid of Sin Cara finally?
Is he related to Otunga by any chance?
Just a friend, not his family.
So, I mean, with this Kalisto thing, I appreciate him winning the title to an extent because I'm interested to see where they go. But I'm nowhere near as interested as if they would have just kept it on him when he first won the title on Raw. Because now it's like, well, were you too chicken shit and now you got called out on it and you're backtracking? Or was this your plan all along and you just had a stupid plan? Like, I don't think this does any favors for Kalisto. This only makes it harder to build him back up.
I don't think it does any favors for either of the guy. If you're just going to bounce the title back and forth like that, is Del Rio going to win it back tomorrow night now? I mean,
God, if they do that, then they're fucking idiots.
What I'll say is they've incredibly devalued Del Rio. He came in and beat John Cena clean. He's put John Cena on the shelf again, and he's losing to Kalisto. That's stupid. Like, I'm not a Del Rio fan by any means, but if you're going to push the guy, be consistent. Unless they've got a big program for him coming out of this match, then taking the title off of him was a dumb move to begin with.
Now, do you guys think Del Rio is going to win this back? And if so, do you think he's going to win it back tomorrow, or do you think he's going to win it back at, like, Fastlane or something? Because I kind of can't see Kalisto maybe going into WrestleMania as the champion. Like, I don't think they'd give him a singles match or something. Maybe that, like, I think it was Peyton that suggested it, maybe having Kalisto go in and do, like, a multi-man ladder match or something. I could see that. But where do you think that this is going, Peyton? Do you think this is going back to Del Rio?
I would assume not. I don't see what the point of that would be. Maybe do a Del Rio match for Fastlane, and if you want to have him included in a multi-man match for WrestleMania, that's cool. But wherever it goes from here, I would have Sin Cara Negro come back.
Specifically Sin Cara Negro.
Yeah, he has to come back as Sin Cara Negro. He's got to put the tape on his boot, and he's got to beat up Kalisto.
and he's got a feud with him for that title down the line. So Kalisto's got to hold on to it.
Maybe he'll come back as Kalisto Negro.
Yeah.
He'll just steal that gimmick, and Booker T will have to be on the detective case. Drew, what do you think's happening? Is Del Rio winning it back, or is Kalisto holding it? And if he's holding it until Mania, what do you want to see?
I really don't know for the most part, because whatever I say, the exact opposite is probably going to happen tomorrow on Raw. So, just for if we're talking about my fantasy league team, then yes, I would love to see Del Rio win it. However, I'd be completely fine if Kalisto kept the title. It's interesting. It's new, kind of. I know they did it once already, but I'd like to see what they would do with him, actually giving him a storyline to roll with.
So I'm kind of curious why Mark Swaby in the chat is kind of advocating kitten sandwiches.
Well, see, Waco mentioned that the only way we can save the kittens is by donating to the Patreons of Mega Powers Radio, Smark Out Moment, and Stephen Waco. So please do that.
You can either do that, or you can eat kittens, which might be delicious, according
No,
to Mark.
the kittens will die if they don't. Tony, come on.
Also, if they don't give us hearts.
Exactly.
Oh, hearts in the chat, that's what it is.
So do your fucking job, guys. Come on.
Money and hearts. That's what we live on.
Amen.
Wago had kind of touched on this. What's with the couple of sloppy spots? There are some botches in this match that, I don't know, kind of, it takes me out of it. You know, I try to suspend disbelief when I watch this, but when I see just some really sloppy stuff, it's just very disappointing. There was one spot, though, that I really did like when Del Rio just picked up Kalisto and just slid him out of the ring. I really like that spot.
Well, see, there's only... I was
The
just going to say...
reason this match was sucky by comparison was that he was like, remember that match we had on Raw? See, all right, let's do that, but fuck it up. Cool.
Yeah, basically.
But I can only remember
I like how you had him say C, but then cool.
See, cool. I only have one botch I can really remember, and that was just when he like stepped on his back and he was supposed to do a flip or something, or like some, I don't know what, but that's like really the only botch I can remember from this.
There
match.
was at least one more that I didn't note exactly.
Oh, geez, 2 botches in an entire.
I know,
match.
right?
Just makes it a botch fest. Jeez, you guys are just hating on it just to hate on it. I think it's a really good match. I mean, they had really good, cool spots. The only thing I'm annoyed about is that whenever Del Rio goes for that corner, just like double stomp spot, and he misses, he automatically plays up, my knee, it hurts so bad. And it annoys me every fucking time now.
Sounds like Carolyn.
No.
Oh no, guys, on my knee.
And I think that Drew was trying to go for like a Speedy Gonzalez thing there.
Oh, so he's just being racist. Okay.
Yeah. Let's see. Next was the Divas Championship. Charlotte defended against Becky Lynch. She was successful in that because of some little outside shenanigans from Ric Flair throwing his jacket on Becky Lynch's head. It was like, huh? This is what we're resorting to now? He's just going to be like, hey, here's my jacket. I used to elbow drop that all the time. I wasn't both ways on this match. I mean, it was fine. It wasn't bad. It wasn't something that I can really complain about. And it's not something that I would be like chalking this up as like, well, here's another shitty Divas match, because it wasn't really that bad. But these two should have had a better match. And if you look at how they were 2 of the horsewomen, and they're on the main roster, this should have been on par, if not better, than the Sasha Banks and Bayley match. But it comes nowhere near close to it, and that's disappointing.
Well, see, Tony, here's the thing. This isn't Sasha Banks and Bayley. This is ugly-ass Charlotte, who's overrated. And Becky Lynch, she's pretty good. So, come on. If you're comparing it to one of the greatest matches of all time, then that's your own fault. I can't help you with that. You should. I mean, I'm not going to go into a Big Show Kane match expecting it to be the greatest match ever, because, you know, AJ Styles and Nakamura was on it as well. So come on, stop trying to compare shit.
I like how every time Drew starts talking about Charlotte, he always has to point out right away how ugly he thinks she is. Like, that's the most important thing about the match. No, as far as the match goes, like you said, Tony, I know that both of these ladies can wrestle. We did not get their best work tonight. You know, I'm not anti-Divas matches. I like seeing good ones, like, you know, we've brought up many times with the Sasha Banks and Bayley matches, for example. But these guys didn't give...
Girls.
Gals.
Come on.
Oh.
Everybody jumps on them. Girls, they're girls.
It's a
Son of a bitch.
gender-neutral pronoun. Well, anyways,
We all turned into Booker T, and you were Corey Graves.
these performers did not deliver at their best quality. Performance. Jesus Christ. So I expected more, but at least the ending after the match was something good, and I'm sure we'll get to that in just a second.
See, I enjoyed the match still. These two put a quality match on Raw, and pretty much it was the same thing. I feel bad for Becky because she had to kiss Ric Flair, or Ric Flair just had to kiss Becky, and there should be some type of sexual harassment suit that they should do. But really, Ric Flair is fucking ugly too.
That's what they would have done like 2 years ago when they were like we were in that horrible Bella mess.
Yeah,
They would have definitely done some type of like sexual harassment story.
But for a while, WWE was really high on, well, I'll sue you. Well, I'll sue you. So I'm glad we're actually over that part.
See, that was just muttered under the breath of Dean Ambrose and Kevin Owens. It was like, I hate you. I hate you. I'll sue you. Well, I'll sue you, motherfucker. And Ric Flair kisses them both. But
it's disgusting. I feel bad for them too.
Ugh, you're such a Canadian.
So he kissed Becky, but he didn't make her cry. So he has to fill up on the other half of that commitment.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure she's crying backstage now. Like, I kissed some leather.
I'm surprised she was able to even finish the match after that. That's like super effective critical hit in Pokemon.
It's like Hyper Beam.
Becky's thinking, why did they make that one Muppet out of leather?
So Ric Flair, obviously, he gets in the way. We've been talking about this for a while, that Ric Flair is kind of a little overbearing when it comes to the Charlotte stuff and whatever. Are you guys just finally done with it? Like, is he well past his overstaying his welcome?
Yep.
Nope, he needs to get beat up.
Yes.
He needs to get beaten up.
He needs to get beaten up bad. He needs to blade for his daughter.
Well, I mean, come on. He got kicked in the stomach. I'm surprised he didn't blade after that.
It's only the beginning.
Maybe his stomach was like bleeding under his shirt and
Oh,
they
yeah,
just show it.
He's got massive internal bleeding going on right now. We just didn't see it.
Well,
So
when he kissed Becky Lynch, she accidentally bit his lip. And he was just been, bleeding ever since.
It hasn't been the same.
So after the match, Charlotte attacks Becky Lynch for, why not? Sasha Banks comes out, kicks Becky, acts friendly to Charlotte, and puts her in the bank statement. So they did the whole, like, I'm coming out to save you. No, I'm not. Yes, I am. Not really, because she really is just interested in Charlotte. But it looks like we're getting Sasha Banks versus Charlotte for at least Fastlane, if not building it up towards WrestleMania in some capacity. And that's something I'm more interested in the Becky one, but I still think it's going to be a little blah. But hopefully it'll be better, because Sasha Banks is better.
I'm
That's
hoping
the
for
only good
triple
thing
threat.
that came out of it. Oh, you really want a triple threat? I just think they should just...
At Fastlane, yeah. And then one-on-one at WrestleMania.
Yeah, it's going to be one-on-one by Mania. I don't mind how they stretch it out, but it's got to be Sasha taking the belt against Charlotte. And if they have Charlotte go over, I'd be so pissed.
See, I don't know. I wouldn't be so quick to say it's a one-on-one at WrestleMania. I think that they're still going to try to do something with more than one person, like, challenging for the belt. Because Paige, she's really popular. I don't think that they'll just put her on the sidelines.
They should. She's fucking done. Like, I think everybody's had their fill of Paige for a long time.
I wouldn't be too surprised, now that Sasha Banks is coming out now, if they do Sasha versus Charlotte at Fastlane, and then they do a triple threat with those two and Paige, or even a fatal four-way of those two, Paige and Becky, at WrestleMania. That wouldn't shock me at all. What I'm shocked about, though, is apparently there's been a discussion in the chat about whether or not Chinese people are going to be eaten instead of the cats and whatever. So you guys are cannibals now, and on top of eating cats? What the hell?
Tony.
Fan base is weird.
I like how Tony is 15 minutes behind in the chat.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. We're talking about Ben now.
I'm trying to catch up on different parts. Yeah, we're talking about Ben Solo.
We're just talking about Ben Guest 1.
Ben! So, Sasha, we all like Sasha. Probably the best, right?
Yeah, she's pretty cool.
Would you guys rather her win the title at WrestleMania if it means we got to stick through another couple of months of Charlotte's title reign, or do you want her to just win it at Fastlane?
Yeah, just everyone at Mania. Make it something.
Somewhere during this time, we have to build to Charlotte beating the shit out of Ric Flair, and then Sasha Banks takes the title. Makes sense.
Oh, you want Charlotte to beat up Flair?
Yeah.
No, at one point, all three of them gang up on Ric Flair. I'd take
And
that.
they
Pretty
bring
okay.
his old enemies back, like Ricky Steamboat comes down and starts punching him again.
Like, can they give him the full treatment that Triple H did, where he called him a jet flying limousine riding piece of trash and threw him in the back of a limo that driven off? That was probably like Flair's most awesome beatdown that he ever took.
So, any other thoughts on the Divas title? Where this is going, the match, anything like that?
Well, I know I go straight to the bathroom every time they come on. I'm not giving Divas a chance. They blew it.
Wait, so what'd you do with the other match that you left?
It was nice. I got 2 bathroom breaks. I
I
also
thought you were
ate
getting
chicken.
something to eat. Wait, who was the one that we were trying to figure out what they were going to eat during this? We
Oh,
did
it
the
was
update on
me.
that.
I
Was
ended
it?
up making barbecue chicken in a slow cooker.
Nice. Man, I'm hungry now. All right, so the main event of the night was the Royal Rumble match itself. This time it's for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. It's one versus all because Roman Reigns enters at number 1, and he's got to be the one that survives unless we get a new champion. And lo and behold, we get a new champion. Lo and behold, it's Triple H, number 30. Been saying it for a long time, so it was something predictable. But as we said at the beginning of this, predictability, throw it out the window. Talk about whether or not you actually liked what happened. And there were some unpredictable spots in this that I think really made this a fun Royal Rumble. Problems, here and there. I'm going to run down both sides of the equation. But as far as our concept, one versus all, do you guys think that they pulled it off here? Was this good that they did the Roman Reigns thing, or would you rather have preferred just a normal Royal Rumble?
I don't think the Roman Reigns thing was that overbearing. Honestly, especially when we just recently watched the Royal Rumble '99, and you saw how focused that one was on the singular story, I think we saw enough other things happen with this Rumble that it didn't feel like that was it. I mean, right off the bat, I really liked what they did, where they teased you here, where it started with Roman Reigns and Rusev, and he threw him out of the ring immediately. And people were like, oh, here we go. We're going to do this shit where Roman Reigns is throwing people out one by one. Oh, shit. It's AJ Styles.
Yeah, that's one of the big things here. I never would have predicted this. I thought that there was a possibility that we could have gotten a big name at number 2 that could get thrown out. And I thought if it was going to be anybody, it was going to be Rusev or Barrett. But AJ Styles at number 3, first off, there was a possibility we weren't getting AJ Styles at all. He could have very well not shown up here. Even if he did, though, I was like, well, there's no way he's one of the first people.
Okay.
Especially not number 3.
My biggest issue with this, as much as I fucking marked out, is they did a shitty job of, panning the camera to him.
Oh, yeah, that was terrible.
It was entirely on Roman Reigns' face during the entire part of his first piece of his theme music. We didn't get to see AJ Styles on the Titantron when everyone popped. We missed a really cool moment. Because of some beaver-toothed motherfucker that should be gone out of the company.
That was a huge disappointment, because it was like, oh my god, and it's like, who?
Roman's face! Roman's face has entered the arena.
Oh my god, Roman is shocked. I'm shocked that Roman's shocked.
But as soon as they did pan to him, I went silent for a while before I marked out. It was surreal seeing him there. And we were talking before, and it was just weird seeing him in the WWE altogether. It was seeing him weird compete with those guys on that quality of production. It was odd.
Yeah, a lot of people had predicted AJ Styles since he recently signed, but I thought it was too early. I really was legitimately shocked when he came out, and I was glad to see him. But like Wega was saying, it took me a second to wait, is this real life? Is this really happening? It was truly one of those shocking moments that really makes the Rumble. It's entrants like that are the ones that I look forward to.
Now, do you guys think he's... I think it was just Wago a second ago that said that it was weird to see him kind of fit in the same kind of area, but I kind of thought, he seemed like he fit from day one, kind of. I mean, this is day one, but you know what I mean?
No, he looked like he fit. He had his full production there. He had his outfit. He had a Tron. He went in there and he hanged with pretty much anybody that was in that ring, including the likes of Big Show and Roman Reigns. He he's a guy who's going to belong. He's going to do just fine. I have no worries about AJ Styles, and I'm seeing all types of people getting upset about the treatment of him. Say what you will about the camera pan, and these are semantic things, and I can get why people are upset about. I'm not saying that Kevin Dunn didn't fuck up that decision, but overall, AJ Styles looked very awesome tonight. A lot better than I would have expected someone like him to have come in and gotten treated like even Mystico didn't get as good of a treatment when he came in.
Yes or no? He should have gone to the Final Four. I think that would have made his. I think that would have separated.
Not when he came in from number 3.
Yeah,
he could have been the Iron Man.
Well, then he would have had to outlast Roman Reigns.
I'm cool with that.
No, I think that what they did with AJ Styles here was actually really, really well done. And one of my favorite parts about this actual Royal Rumble in its entirety was the fact that Kevin Owens eliminated him, because it's the perfect guy to do it. Like, you put the right amount of heat on the right type of guy. Instead of having, like, if Roman Reigns would have done it, going forward, people would be pissed at Roman Reigns.
But here's the thing I worried about with Owens eliminating him. The next guy to come out, Sami Zayn, so it looks like they're setting up a program. Are they just going to ignore the Owens and Styles stuff?
See, I don't know about that, because I thought that before Sami Zayn came out, I was like, oh, shit, Owens versus Styles at WrestleMania. That could be really good. They could be setting this up right now. And then Sami Zayn came out, and I'm like, oh, shit, fuck that. Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens at WrestleMania. I don't know which way they would end up going, and I think both ways, though, we win. So it's kind of like, whatever happens, happens, and I'm cool with it, you know? Because Sami Zayn's entrance, that was another awesome moment. Big pop for me when it came out of that. You guys really like that too?
Oh yeah, I was super glad to see Sami Zayn enter the Royal Rumble. I wish he would have stayed in a little bit longer, but I like what he did when he was in there.
See, the only complaint I have about Sami Zayn is, he couldn't last like 15 more seconds before Brock Lesnar comes out. That's all I had to say about that.
Well, you would have wanted Zayn and Lesnar to lock
No.
up?
Just, he would have lasted longer because the Wyatt family would have been focused on Brock Lesnar. Just from that standpoint. I like Sami Zayn.
Also, I think if you want to protect a guy, Lesnar's the perfect guy to have throw them out. Like, no one's ever going to be like, well, he got thrown out by Brock Lesnar. That's scrub.
Yeah, but Sami Zayn got thrown out by Braun Strowman. Like, that dude was a beast at this Royal Rumble.
Yeah, you can't complain about Sammy. I would have liked it if Brock had been in the one to eliminate AJ, but I'm a fucking mark, so.
Who got the most eliminations tonight?
I have no idea. I wasn't keeping track.
I know Lesnar had several. I know Braun Strowman had several. I know Roman Reigns had several.
It was a tie between Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman. They both had 5, which is actually underperforming compared to what ended up being like the average. It's usually like between 6 and 7. 5 is something that doesn't happen that often.
And Strowman is who I predicted. Strowman's who I predicted for the...
good for you.
Hey, it's one of the only predictions I got right this time.
Because I am looking on Wikipedia, and Wikipedia says Strowman has 5 and Roman only has 4.
Oh, you know what? Actually, I just refreshed that, and yeah, it did change. So something happened here. I don't know what's going on with that.
Let me go in there and change it as well.
Yep. But Brock Lesnar had 20 eliminations. Yeah, sounds right.
And Luke Harper also had 4.
Let's see.
And yeah, okay.
At least when it comes to what my notes were, Roman Reigns eliminated Rusev. I don't know who gets the credit for Tyler Breeze, because it seemed like it was Roman Reigns and AJ Styles, so that's a little iffy. I guess that's something that maybe that's kind of the problem here.
Mm-hmm.
So, ignoring AJ Styles' return, well, debut, I should say, the best moment had to be Triple H stepping into the ring and was like, fuck you, Dolph Ziggler.
Exactly.
He fucking just crippled his ass. It was funny as hell. I'm like, well, the shovel has arrived.
Yeah. Buried some motherfuckers today, too.
Now, I'm going to say the Tyler Breeze thing, I just mentioned that a minute ago. That was one of my least favorite parts. I think that they jobbed that guy out for no reason. I don't know for sure if he has the least amount of time, but he's up there.
No, I bet Mark Henry does.
Henry's up there. Curtis Axel didn't last long at all. Tyler Breeze didn't last until the next person came out. And there was another person.
R-Truth?
Well, R-Truth lasted a little while. But he didn't last all that long in the grand scheme of things.
So actually, since we're talking about R-Truth right now, what did you think about that?
I loved
was
it.
amazing. As
That
soon
was
as he
great.
pulled the ladder out, I'm like, oh no, he doesn't think it's a Money in the Bank, does he? Oh shit, he does.
Yeah.
I didn't get it at first, actually. When
Well,
he pulled the ladder out,
as soon as he started going for the ladder, I knew exactly what they were doing, and I loved it.
I didn't get it until I think it was Dace was just kind of like, oh my god, he thinks it's Money in the Bank, and I'm like, wait, what? Oh, god damn it, this is fucking great.
Here's the thing,
Alright.
he's the guy that everybody shit talks and like talks bad about, yet he's always the one that pulls out gems like this.
So I have the official stats on WWE.com, and according to them, the shortest time was Jack Swagger with 15 seconds.
Oh yeah, Brock did maul him.
Oh
Oh yeah, that's right.
None of us predicted Jack Swagger for the shortest time, so none of us get points for that.
Well, the guy
Do they have anything officially for who eliminated Tyler Breeze?
eliminated?
Tyler Breeze was eliminated by AJ Styles alone.
Okay, so that actually bumps Roman Reigns out of the most eliminated things, which is a big factor for this right now, because that means only one person got it correct that Braun Strowman was going to be the guy who actually got the most eliminations, and that's Kalen.
And
Oh,
it's
yeah.
a guy who doesn't have a fantasy team.
Well, hey, I still got a prediction right. It's more than you, fucker.
We all got the winner correct, so we're all tied when it
6
comes to
being-
that. And I don't think we have a longest time yet, but I'm assuming it's Roman Reigns, and we all got that correct anyway, so that doesn't really matter.
No, longest time is indeed Roman Reigns. 59 minutes, 50 seconds.
So, before I talk about who has everything correct and tally that up and whatever like that, let's continue talking about some different parts that we thought were good or bad or whatever like that. I thought that the Curtis Axel elimination wasn't as good as it could have been. That was a little disappointing to me. Like, I wanted that to be quicker, you know?
I think the Axelmania thing ran its course, so him entering it wasn't even a big deal to me. I'm like, okay, it's Axel, bye.
Yeah.
I think he was I think he was a wasted entrant. I wouldn't have even bothered.
Not at all.
No. What the fuck is Axel adding to the company right now? I know some people are getting in on Social Outcast faction, but it does nothing for me.
Yo, the chains are off, Wago.
The chains are off. The chains are off. I like that promo that they had at the beginning of the show, where it was like,
The
isn't
interview,
Slater
yes.
the leader of the whole thing? And he was just like, oh, of course I am, whatever. And Chris
The best-
Axel's looking at him all weird. And...
The best was they're like, which one do you use the weak link?
They're
It's
like,
like-
oh, it's Adam Rose.
People like the Social Outcast are the reason Vince doesn't hold promo classes anymore. He's like, oh, fuck this shit.
Well, I liked Curtis Axel's response when Heath Slater was saying that he's the leader, and he's like, 3MB.
Yeah.
Thumbs down, Batista moment. Let's see some other parts during this match. I didn't like taking Roman Reigns out of the match. I mean, we just watched the 1999 Royal Rumble, and it was like, oh, come on. Vince McMahon's goons take out the number one entrant, and then he comes back later on.
Tony, I can't blame WWE for that because they didn't tell us to watch the 99 Rumble beforehand. So,
Yeah, but we have the network.
yeah, but we didn't have to watch that. We could have watched the 06
And
Rumble.
I also saw it twice from their groups on fucking Facebook when they posted that same Rumble. That didn't help.
And as you know from history, history repeats itself, especially in the WWE.
Like, I would have liked to have something a little bit different. Like, I would have been fine with Roman Reigns sticking it out throughout the whole Royal Rumble. I mean, some people would have complained and been like, oh, he looks
Actually,
too strong. But
I'll just go ahead and say WWE was right to in this circumstance.
Yeah.
Because every time Roman did something, boo! Boo!
And at the same time, people look back at Ray's Iron Man victory, and now they look back and be like, oh, well, he was just sitting in the corner most of the time. And I tell you, Roman does not have the conditioning that Rey Mysterio had. So you made an excuse to take him out of the match for a little bit.
Now, did you guys think when he came back that was executed all right? Having him show up with the Sheamus thing, give him a Superman punch, and
It
kinda
surprised
just
me.
like,
I expected him to come and be a ball of fire and clear house, but I didn't expect him to come in like while Sheamus was walking down.
I
I
thought
didn't
that
see
was
coming.
pretty cool, and it was a funny moment.
they did do that better than when Stone Cold came back. Because when he came back, if you remember correctly, that was Big Boss Man, I think. And they just waited. Like, Big Boss Man just waited an extra, 30 seconds before he walked into the ring. So that was a more impactful kind of way to do it. But I also had a little issue with the fact that the cameras were focused entirely on that, which, I mean, that's the story of the match. I get it. But we missed Kofi's elimination during that. And it's like, damn it, dude. You couldn't have just cut away right around that time. Come on, Kevin Dunn. What are you, like,
Yeah, Kevin.
afraid of Kofi eliminations and AJ Styles entrances? God damn it.
Oh, wait. I have an update. Looking on WWE's official website, it appears that we have a 4-way tie for most eliminations. Or excuse me, a 3-way tie with 4 eliminations each guy.
So Strowman's not getting 5?
Maybe they're reading Wikipedia and keep updating it every time.
Are they listening to us right now? They just keep changing it?
Braun Strowman is credited as eliminating Kane, Big Show, Mark Henry, and Sami Zayn.
So I had him down as Kane, Big Show, Mark Henry, Sami Zayn, and Brock Lesnar.
Ooh.
But I guess they're not counting that.
Yeah,
he was
Brock
already
Lesnar doesn't
eliminated.
count because he was already eliminated.
So that must be the difference maker.
Indeed. And then Brock Lesnar eliminated Eric Rowan, Luke Harper, Jack Swagger, and Braun Strowman.
So Reigns has the same, and who's the other one?
Reigns has Rusev, Del Rio, Miz, and Sheamus.
Who was the third guy?
Oh, Brock Lesnar. Braun Strowman.
Damn it. So everybody got that correct.
Wow.
Oh, man. All right. Well, that makes it so... It's like, what the hell? It's such a weird coincidence when it comes to that.
With all different answers.
It's like a game of fucking soccer. We all win.
You know what would have helped if we had guessed the entrances 1 to 30.
Yeah. Goes to prove that we need to do that going forward, because there actually is a 3-way tie when it comes to the predictions.
What about the Final Four? We can't do
When you count the Final Four, it's a 3-way tie.
Wait, who's the 3-way tie with?
All right, so I'll just spoil that right now. Why not? The only 2 people that had 4 points are Kalen and Wago. You both had only 4 things. Kalen had Triple H winning, Braun Strowman winning. Actually, I just threw out for everybody the Roman Reigns thing or whatever like that. It'd actually be 6 and 5 and whatever like that. So everybody got Roman Reigns for the Iron Man. Everybody got Triple H for winning. And everybody got the most eliminated. So Kalen had 2 people in the Final Four, Roman Reigns and Triple H. Wago had Roman Reigns and Triple H. Actually, we all had Roman Reigns and Triple H. So the difference makers, when it came to everything, actually, was myself and Peyton having Sheamus in the Final Four, and Drew having Dean Ambrose.
Well, I'll be damned.
Wow.
It came down to Dean Ambrose and Sheamus, the difference makers, to make a 3-way tie. So,
well, if I may, I would say, since Dean Ambrose made it to the final 2, that Drew should win this.
I'm okay with that.
Or we can play a game of tap out.
I think since our tiebreaker used to be whoever got, when it came down to the 1 to 30, whoever got the most amount of people, and we didn't predict that, I'm okay with saying that Drew gets more credit for being the final 3 out of everybody. So, Drew, you get 1 extra point when it comes to that. You're the winner of the botched kind of version of the Royal Rumble predictions contest.
Tony, I told you we should have actually done the predictions. I told you a number of times. I was totally down for it, and no one else was.
Or, we could just do it next year where we pick the final 2 as
We
well.
could.
And not waste all that time reading off 30 people each.
Well, we don't
Tell
have to.
us, everybody listening, what you guys would like us to do in the future when it comes to the Royal Rumble predictions contest. Because the 1 to 30 is kind of fun, but it's also really, really annoying.
Ooh, what if we predict where the winner comes in? Like, what spot?
Oh, that's, so crazy. I mean, we could do it based off of, how close you are.
Yeah, exactly. Closest to who is where the winner's spot is.
Well, then this time we all would have said 30. Because we all did Triple H.
No, because you would have said 31.
I would have said 30, and then I said
Wago
maybe
said
31. Yeah, exactly.
I got to assume by now, too, that Triple H furthers his record for the most cumulative time in the Royal Rumble history. He was number 1 before, lasted a little bit of time here, so he's well above Shawn Michaels now.
Well, you know what is interesting? You know who the second most time in this Rumble is under Roman Reigns?
That would be Jericho, right?
Chris Jericho, 50 minutes, 50 seconds. And
Yeah,
if I recall right, that when he came back not too long ago, when he was the surprise number 2, he was in there super long too.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I think he's going for that record.
That's when it came down to him and Sheamus, right?
Yeah.
I think it was
No,
that was
wasn't.
after
Ziggler,
yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Either way, he looked like he wrestled an hour after he was done. His old man skin was melting off him.
One thing that I'd like to bring up, though, is that we had one NXT entrant with Sami Zayn. We had one super surprise with AJ Styles. But other than that, there weren't really any other surprises and no legends this time, were there?
Triple H.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
he's
kind of.
been on TV a lot lately.
He
So
said
I,
He hasn't been on TV in weeks. They even said he has not been on TV since that vicious chair shot attack by Roman Reigns. At all. We have not seen him at all.
but he's still on the regular active roster. Come on.
Other than Sami Zayn, who I don't know if he's officially coming up going forward, everyone else was people who will be at Raw tomorrow or will be on Superstars or SmackDown going forward. There wasn't like
Brock Lesnar.
I don't know. Actually, Brock Lesnar's advertised to appear at a lot of SmackDowns going forward. So
What?
But not tomorrow's Raw.
If you want to stretch it even more with the Triple H kind of thing, you can kind of say Kane because he hasn't been there for a while.
Oh, god damn it. Now that you said that, I just looked and they have him listed as entry number 7, Demon Kane.
Oh, he's Demon Kane?
No, really? They do?
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, then you know what? If he eliminated anybody, that doesn't count for his record, right?
It's Demon Kane.
Because it would be like Kane's eliminated the most amount of people, but Demon Kane's only eliminated... Actually, no, he didn't eliminate a damn person in this, did he?
You know what annoys me?
No.
If they're going to count...
No, R-Truth. He eliminated R-Truth.
Oh, that's right, yeah, R-Truth.
Crack cocaine
Well, Demon
doesn't
Kane.
have a single elimination yet.
Who doesn't?
Crack cocaine.
Oh, well, in the future, crack cocaine will. So, I'm going through the list of different eliminations. Obviously, we're not going to break down every entry, every elimination, whatever like that. Are there any people that stand out to you guys as really awesome performers that you weren't expecting? Maybe you really were into Neville in it, or maybe you thought that Ryback did a really shitty job on the opposite end of the spectrum or something like that?
Ryback did an awesome spot with AJ Styles when he fucking launched him in the air. Like, that was a great spot, I thought.
Yeah, Styles was
body
giving
drop.
Ziggler was giving Styles was giving Ziggler a run for his money with the bumps tonight. He was bumping everybody's moves.
Kofi Kingston's yearly spot was underwhelming again.
Yeah.
I think he's really running out of ideas.
Yeah, they should have just X-nayed that when he became a heel with the New Day.
I was really thinking that Neville would have gotten that spot this year, but he didn't really do anything crazy.
No, he was in there
That's
10
all
minutes,
that's
and I can't remember a damn thing he did.
He,
Rode around on Big E's shoulders and just took somebody's soda.
Neville rode around on Big E's shoulders.
Oh, I thought we were still talking about Kofi here.
no, we're talking about the Neville level. You're definitely not on that level.
I'm not on the Neville level.
You're not.
I mean, it's past 77.
I'm a little bit surprised by how Eric Rowan did. He didn't eliminate anybody other than helping to eliminate Mark Henry.
Wait a minute.
But they actually made Eric Rowan look like he was kind of formidable when he came in. What, are they changing it up again?
No. I'm just thinking, like, in retrospect, what the fuck was the point of putting in Mark Henry and Jack Swagger if they were in for a combined total of 45 seconds?
Well, you knew neither of them were going to have a chance to win, no matter who in that fatal four-way was
I
going to.
say that tag team match weakened them so much that they couldn't stay in for a full minute.
Yeah, that's it. I didn't realize Henry was only in there 30 seconds. Damn.
Okay.
World's strongest man in a match where you throw people out of the ring couldn't last 30 seconds.
Well, see,
Aye.
that reminds me of Kevin Owens just like selling like the injuries from the Last Man Standing match, and then as soon as he gets in the ring, let's fucking do this, guys. Yeah.
Yeah, he did go from like dying to accelerating really quickly.
Who would you guys put down as the worst performer in this whole thing? Because even though he had a good showing, I think Braun Strowman is really shitty.
Goldust.
No, I'm
Yeah,
gonna go
Goldust
Titus
did
O'Neil.
look very good.
Yeah, he fucked up his elimination too.
How did he get eliminated? I don't even remember his elimination.
It was almost a back
Titus, right? Oh.
Titus did it?
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
Titus.
he was eliminated by Titus, yeah.
That sucks.
Oh, yeah, he was the fourth elimination. Yeah, I don't remember that at all.
No, he eliminated Goldust. Maybe Goldust will team back up with Stardust now and go kick his ass.
Man, I don't remember Stardust doing anything in this match either.
No, he didn't really do anything. Although he did put up more of a fight against Braun Strowman than Big Show and Kane for some reason. He's like, Braun Strowman picks up Kane, picks up Big Show, and he's just kind of like, yeah, fuck you. Yeah, fuck you. And then, a couple minutes later, Stardust comes out. Or he's already out there at that point. He's trying to, like, put him over, and he's just like, I just can't get this Stardust guy over. And it's like, what the fuck? He's like half of the size of Kane, and like a third of the size of Big Show. And you're like, the Stardust guy, just keep telling him no. I don't get it.
So since we're talking all about stats and we did our predictions contest, is it cool if I start reading off these pool winners that we got?
Yeah, go for it.
All right, so if you were in the Mega Maniacs Facebook group, which if you're not, you need to get in that group because we have fun things going on all throughout the week besides just our shows that we're doing. We had a Royal Rumble pool where we had 30 people gather together and get an entry number to this year's Royal Rumble. And every person got their own individual entry, and people got excited as they had people come out representing them like Goldust and Jack Swagger and Big Show and R-Truth.
I got a little excited when mine was Jericho. I was like, well, I'm fucked, but yay, I like Jericho.
Yeah, at least it's Jericho, That's cool. He was almost Iron Man.
Yeah.
So that's cool. But I'm going to read out some of the winners that we had here. So, first off, Iron Man, since I said that of course was Roman Reigns. Shout out to Miguel Leon. Roman Reigns got you that Iron Man award. Most eliminations, that one's going to be split amongst 3 folks. So, that's going to go to Roman Reigns, Miguel Leon again, 2-time winner. Braun Strowman, who was Angela Williams. Congrats, Angie. And Brock Lesnar, who was Leslie Joyce. Congrats, Leslie. We had shortest time, which went to Jack Swagger for Jacob Hager. So, grats, dude, for having the shortest time. I guess that's not really a grats.
Congrats for not having a good guy.
And the winner.
Wait, who was the
Triple
final?
H.
Who was the final 2?
The final 2? Okay, well, the final 2. Number 2, Triple H. Wait, no, I'm sorry. No, never mind. I was trying to do a Steve Harvey and I fucked it up. Number 2 was Dean Ambrose, which was Kalen Bruce's.
Hey, what do you know? That's me.
And
Good job,
the winner
Brian.
was Triple H, which was me. Woo!
Yeah, I didn't see that
All
coming.
about the
The guy who's running the poll. Very interesting.
Just happened to get number 30 spot.
Totally random, guys.
Well, like I would have known what number 30 was.
Totally, I did totally hit the refresh button a few times.
Yeah, right.
Didn't hit the refresh button.
This was
single
his
time.
Drew. This is just him getting revenge on you for fixing the fucking vote for best host of the year, dude.
Like I said, I never did any of that.
If you check the little proof thing that says random.org, it's actually photoshopped that it actually said semi-random.org. And Panda just whited that part out. Yeah.
Random except number 30.org.
Yeah. There are
specific
29 people
website.
that you're randomizing here.
So I thought that was cool that of all 30, it came down to 2 of us here on the Tony panel.
Yeah. I was really worried it was going to be like some random person who just happened to be on the day that I posted that. No offense, because there's a lot of names in here that I don't see normally participating. And maybe you are good listeners, loyal listeners, and I'm sorry if I'm insulting you in any way, but...
I'm not
You
your
can call any of them out.
What we're saying is we like you to participate. We want you to participate even more.
Yeah, but preferably in English.
unless you're ugly. We don't like uggos.
Go.
All right, so I kind of am tapped out when it comes to different things to talk about. Actually, no, there's one more thing I wanted to bring up here. The Wyatt family and Brock Lesnar connection. What do you guys think about that? Is that something that it was good enough to see everybody, essentially, from the Wyatt family, except for Bray Wyatt, get eliminated by Brock Lesnar and everything to kind of bite him in the ass and all that? And it looks like we're building towards that for WrestleMania. Good enough, or is this just kind of, I don't really want to see that?
As a tag team, no. As a match, yeah, I think it would be interesting.
If you're gonna have one man topple the entire Wyatt family, then it's probably should be Brock Lesnar. I think that's actually a good Mania match, and it's not one that I thought about. So, out of all of the things that WWE did tonight that I didn't expect, that was up there. I really liked it.
Yeah, I think at Mania, or maybe Fastlane, but more likely Mania, it'll be a handicap match. You know, Brock Lesnar versus the entire, all 4 Wyatts. That would be kind of crazy. I mean, because I imagine that Lesnar would go over, which would kind of bury the Wyatts a little bit. But I don't know. What do you guys think about that proposition? A handicap match like that?
I don't want it.
I don't want it either. It needs to be one-on-one. I could see him having a handicap match with some of the other Wyatt family at Fastlane just to take them out.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you something that's guaranteed not to happen, but it would make me go, oh, that's kind of cool, is if Bray and Brock have some kind of like, you know, we know we're going to clash kind of a thing and whatever, and Paul Heyman just goes, I'm not an idiot. You have 3 other people on here. Well, you know what? I might not be a really likable guy, but I've got some people who have my back, and they're going to help Brock out. Just to have, like, Bray versus Brock at WrestleMania, which I still really am not that into, but you have 3 other people, maybe they're like an RVD, maybe, and that's weird for me to say this, that I'm rooting for an RVD
No,
thing.
keep saying it. Keep saying it. I like it.
Like 3 people from ECW that are like, well...
You ruined it.
Like, well, Paul is one of those guys that, you know, we'll back a little bit, even though we don't really like Brock. And they're sort of like enforcers to balance out the Wyatt family. That would make it a little bit better in my mind. Because then it's actually more even.
I don't like that idea. Rather than that, I'd rather just see Lesnar versus Wyatt one-on-one.
Well, if you do that, then the other 3 members are guaranteed to interfere. And then he's kind of beating them all anyway.
You know, more than the match, the one thing I'm interested in is to see the microphone play between Paul Heyman and Bray Wyatt. That's going to be interesting.
Could be awful, but it could be great.
Yeah, if they do it well, it would be really cool.
It all depends.
But it's like
depends on how much like energy they want to put behind it.
Like that's, you know, kind of what we were saying before the Dean Ambrose Bray Wyatt feud started, you know, a year ago or whenever. We thought, oh man, the promos are going to be fantastic, and then I don't know, they kind of didn't really follow through as well as they should have on that. So as long as they do it right, it could be awesome. That's what I was thinking too when I saw them facing off in the ring. I was like, Paul Heyman versus Bray Wyatt cutting promos. I want to see. They could make that magic if they really wrote it right.
A Bray Wyatt note, the fans actually had a really cool reaction to when him and Triple H had a stare down.
Yeah, that was a good moment.
Yeah, there was like, oh, shit.
So, I mean, we are going to obviously learn more about this kind of stuff when it comes to tomorrow night, or, well, tonight technically now, with Monday Night Raw. We're going to learn even more when it comes to Fastlane and stuff like that. So we don't know what's happening for sure at WrestleMania, but we have at least a little bit of some indication of what's going to happen here. It seems like we're getting Wyatt family versus Brock. Seems like we're getting Reigns Triple H. One last thing that I want to bring up that I want to give credit to. Thankfully, WWE didn't do what I thought they were going to do here. And as much as I called out that I didn't like what they did with Roman Reigns getting taken out of the match and then coming back because it was like, oh, come on, you already did this before. I thought it was a guarantee that Roman Reigns was going to be the last person that Triple H eliminates. Him being thrown out before Dean Ambrose was like, oh, shit. That was a nice surprise.
That definitely shocked me, too, when it was Dean Ambrose in there with him instead of Roman Reigns.
By this point in the match, I was kind of, But as soon as that happened, I marked out. I was like, oh, shit, maybe they're going to do something. Please do something different and have Dean win. And I would have preferred if Dean won, just because it would have been something different, something that I hadn't expected. But in the end, there's a story that they would need to tell, and they got there. And it was nice that they teased it.
Because, see, part of me was thinking, it was a real quick flash, but I was just like, if they would have Dean win, and then over the course of the next 2 months, build up this, like, Triple H gets into Dean's head, and it's kind of like, well, you're the champion. Why you're dual champion, not only. You're the Intercontinental and the World Heavyweight Champion. Why the hell do you care what Roman Reigns has to say? And Roman Reigns is just kind of like, hey, why don't you give me a shot, buddy? I wasn't champion, whatever. And he starts turning heel and all that. I was just like, if they did something crazy like that, that would be amazing, even though I know Dean Ambrose is getting thrown out. And then it was like, all right, but it was still kind of cool because I did not expect Dean Ambrose to be in that final 2 situation. So you do a little surprise like that, you make Dean Ambrose look even better going forward. Big thumbs up for me. So I guess wrapping this up, what's your big takeaway, your big highlight, your big low point of the night? Peyton, I'm going to start off with you.
My high point will be the closing moments of it. I mean, as soon as Triple H came out, I was glued to my screen. I stopped paying attention to anything on my computer. I just totally got focused on the TV. So it's been a while since I've really been glued to an end of a Rumble like that. I think since it was Shawn and Taker as the final two, which just an amazing ending for that. So I'll put that as my high point. My low point, I didn't mention this before, but AJ Styles had some really bad music. It was like gangster rap.
I think
It'll grow on you.
I think it's not that bad. He has very similar tracks in Ring of Honor, so I think when production's a little better and the focus is on his entrance, he's got it's called choreographed. I think it'll be a lot better.
Yeah.
They're like, what do we do? What do we do? I don't know. Just give him somebody call my mama.
Yeah.
Jerry, what's your highlight and your low point?
See, I'm going to start with my low point, and the low point is Charlotte is still the champion, and she's still fucking ugly. So, there's that. My high point for the night, it's definitely going to be the Rumble match. I was psyched for the AJ Styles, debut, so that kept me glued, but I'm going to agree with Peyton. It's really the end of the match when, as soon as Triple H entered, I was like, it's 30. I know he's going to tune in, and I know it's going to be him, but I was still glued. I was still just like, from then on, I was focusing, and I was just making shovel jokes in the Mega Maniacs chat from there on. So that's definitely my highlight for the night.
We go.
All right. So for my lowest point tonight, I'd have to give it to Charlotte. She really is terrible. Don't know what they see in her other than, she has the same DNA as Flair. But if you know anything about his other offspring, that didn't work out for them either. So as far as low point, definitely Charlotte. The high point's got to be AJ Styles returning. Or debuting, I should say again. I'm a huge Styles mark. And nothing more to say than that.
Kalen?
I'm going to say my low point of the night is probably the Kalisto Del Rio match. I mean, like we were talking about before, what the hell are they doing with this storyline? The match quality itself, I don't think, was where it should have been. And I just wasn't as tuned into this one as maybe I should have been. As far as my high point, I'm kind of split on this. Overall quality from beginning to end of a match, I got to go with the Owens-Ambrose match. That was just a great match from beginning to end. However, the last 10 minutes of the Rumble were also fantastic, as you guys were talking about, because once Triple H comes out, you knew shit was going down. And I just, like Mike was saying, my eyes were glued to the screen. I just was on the edge of my seat, just, oh my God, what's going to happen? And then the last 10 minutes or so of that played out was just fantastic. So I'll give it a dual highlight.
Kenneth Cade in the chat saying his high point was thinking that Dean might actually win. Low point was Undertaker not showing up in the Royal Rumble. Yeah, that would have been kind of cool. I mean, I love Undertaker, so definitely wouldn't have been disappointed in that. I gotta say, my low point was the tag title match. Overall, that just didn't do all that much for me. And even though I could kind of criticize the Divas title match for being kind of meh in the same way, tag title match really was just blah. And at least with the Divas one, we had that Sasha Banks thing coming out at the end of it. Tag title one, the equivalent to that would be Francesca 2 in the beginning of it, which is like, yeah, I like the trombone, but I also kind of wish that they would have moved on to a different instrument, maybe. I don't know. Maybe had the gong back, or maybe pull out like a clarinet or whatever. It would have been kind of funny.
The accordion.
Yeah. My high point's got to be the Royal Rumble. There was, a lot of good parts. AJ Styles popping up was cool. Sami Zayn popping up was cool. Even though I think that he showed how green he is, Braun Strowman looking strong made a lot of sense to me. Brock Lesnar looking strong made sense. And the way that they ended it was cool, too. So, real fun Royal Rumble. I think that's going to go down as one of those ones that I actually am into checking again down the line. Maybe like 6 months from now, maybe we'll do like another Smark announce table for it. Maybe we'll wait until next year. I don't know. Oh, Mark Swibby in the chat says, low was the tag match, high was seeing AJ in the WWE. A lot of people are going to be paying attention to AJ Styles going forward, and obviously one of the things that you guys are going to be wondering what's going to happen with that is who's going to pick him up in the Fantasy League. You're going to find that out this coming episode of Smack Talk. It's going to be a couple days from now. probably Wednesday we'll be recording that, so stay tuned for that.
Spoiler, it's Drew.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's going to be Drew, but you never know. Drew might not make
You
it
might
to
fall
that episode.
asleep.
Yeah.
Shit, if I get lucky, maybe all of you fall asleep and I can get him.
But let's go around the table here. Let's talk about some plugs, some promotional stuff that's going down. Kalen?
Yes, you can follow me on Twitter at Kalen Ferris.
Drew?
If you want to see AJ Styles on my team, which you will, you go to @DrewSiffPlay on Twitter. You might see me following him as of, well, give me 10 minutes so I can get on Twitter to follow him. But
Depends on if I can track him down with my GPS.
pretty much. So go
That's
there.
where I go more than anybody.
Make frickin' Nugget on YouTube, just the usual shit. Premiere Palace for Sean because he's too fucking lazy and he can't stay up. He falls asleep every fucking show, so there you go.
Wago?
Alright, follow me on Twitter at Stephen Wago. Stephen is spelled with a PH and Wago is WAGO. Check me out pretty much anywhere. Just type in Stephen Wago and you'll find me in all the usual social media places.
And Peyton?
It's a big week for Mega Powers Radio. We kicked it off with this Royal Rumble post show. Tomorrow night we have the Raw post show, which you should know and be well familiar with by now. Tuesday nights, the Dayspan show has its new night on Mega Powers Radio. And on Wednesday night, we're going to be doing a one-off, doing a post show for the season premiere for Lucha Underground. So if you've been waiting to hear us talk about something that isn't WWE, once upon a time we used to talk about TNA. I think since then we haven't really delved too much into other companies. So this Wednesday, we're going to do a live post show to the season premiere of Lucha Underground. That show's at 8. We go live at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. See y'all on megapowersradio.com.
From my side of things, obviously, keep checking out smarkoutmoment.com for predictions for Fastlane, because I got to be updating that a little bit later on. All our gimmicks throughout the week and our different coverage of TV shows and whatever ends up happening with that. As I mentioned before, also Smack Talk is going to be coming up in a couple of days. I don't know what our main event is going to be. Actually, I do know what our main event is going to be. It's going to be our mailbag for January. So if there's anything that you haven't submitted yet that you want to send to us to pick our brains about something, send those in as soon as you possibly can, because Wednesday we will be tackling those questions. Week after that is when we start getting into other stuff, so if you have any suggestions, submit those as well. And keep checking fanboysanonymous.com for the geek culture stuff. Check out the All Talk Show all over social media, because you never know when we're going to do those. And follow A Mango Tree and Tony Mango on social media all over the place. Thank you. Thank you. I don't know why I said that weird. Thank you to all those listening live. Thank you to all those listening on YouTube. Shout outs to all the people there. Shout out to Awesome Piano Man, who was actually in attendance for the Royal Rumble tonight. Hopefully you enjoyed it just as much, if not more, than we did. And make sure you leave your comment below. Tell us what it was live seeing it there, especially in comparison to how Peyton and I went with this the last year one.
Hopefully he brought a fucking sign that said Smark Out Moment on it as well.
Hopefully.
She's gonna be so fucking hostile about it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Jesus Christ.
Apparently the two things that get under Drew's skin are if Awesome Piano Man doesn't do the sign me up, and if Charlotte's shows up on the
face,
screen. Yeah,
Listen,
you two and you and Booker should hang out.
Listen, if the day that Charlotte's not ugly, it would be a great day for wrestling. It would be a great day for humankind. I'm just saying, Awesome Piano Man, you're a big fan.
Tell you how you're
Getting
getting
that
time
damn
down.
fucking sign.
Maybe he brought a sign of Charlotte's face.
All right,
Dude,
guys,
fuck
that's
that.
it for the Royal Rumble post show. Leave your comments below. Tell us what you thought of the Royal Rumble. Click that share button, that subscribe button, the thumbs up, and all that other kind of stuff. And stay tuned for all the other things coming your way. This has been another Smark Out moment, and we're being counted out.